Welcome to the Crazy J Podcast Show, ladies and gentlemen. That was a bit too loud, right? Welcome to the Crazy J Podcast Show, folks. You can find me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Patreon, YouTube, wherever you can download my podcast. It'd be great. Thank you for following me. I've got things to talk about. You know what we got to talk about, folks? We got to talk about the Detroit Lions, folks. We just got to talk about them. I'm going to go here. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, Detroit Lions. What else could you go right about this team? Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, the Ford family are doing a great job. You know, the signing of a certain player that came off the injury recently, Mr. Aidan Hutchinson. You know, this guy right here. We got to talk about this guy. Look, folks. I can't say enough. There's so many stuff going on about this team that everything is coming together finally. Aidan Hutchinson gets signed for 4 years extension. Off his rookie contract, $100 million with 141 guaranteed, and everything is starting to mesh really well for Detroit. Just be honest with you, Detroit had to sit around a little bit and think about, do they want to sign Aidan Hutchinson? How do you not want to sign a guy that wants to play in Michigan, in Detroit, as is one of his favorite teams, of all favorite teams to play for? And this is really what Detroit needs. And this is something that we've been looking for years and years. An elite player that wants to play in Detroit. We've always had guys like Kelvin Johnson and Barry Sanders, but you know what? They were not native. They were not the guy that would take us to the promised land. And it takes the defensive end defensive edge guy to actually give us that kick in the butt and everything that we've needed. So Detroit is sitting around. I'm sure they made this deal about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe in the beginning of the year. No one talks about it. No one talks about contracts and all this bit. And then finally just came out within hours and a couple of days ago that Aidan Hutchinson is getting paid $108 million for 4 years, 140 guaranteed. And they had to look at what he's doing. He's already got 11 sacks, 11 solo tackles, 6 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. I am just a little bit everywhere right now. So let's take a look at the rest of the team. We got Amon St. Brown for 4 years extensions through 2028, $120 million, $77 million guaranteed. Jared Goff, 4 years, $212 million, $170 million guaranteed through 2028. Jamal Gibbs is still on the rookie contract, $17 million, $85, $100,000, $850,000. So 17, almost 18 million plus a $9 million, almost a $10 million bonus check. David Montgomery, 2027 extension, 2 years, 18.25 million. Penny Sewell, offense linebacker, 112 million through 2029, $85 million guaranteed. This is what it's saying about Detroit, folks. This is saying that Detroit is actually serious about what they want to do. This is taking them to a place that we are not going to struggle with just one player or two players. In the past, we had Barry Sanders, one great player. We got rid of everyone on the offense of line team. Lomas Brown, we got rid of a couple of other guys that I can't remember. And then we had Barry Sanders. Then Barry Sanders quit, abruptly quit. Thought that was cute and funny and thought that was going to prove Detroit and all the Detroit fans that they were wrong and we were right. Nonsense. Barry Sanders might be the biggest disappointment in the land of Detroit. Just saying that out front. And I know all you guys out there say, well, Barry was great. We should have traded him and all this stuff. But you know what Barry did? Barry cut us short. Barry said, you know what? Instead of trading him, he said, I'm going to quit. Let the team go through the draft picks and everything else with it. And then they kind of screw us. Not about Barry no more. This is about Aidan Hutchinson, Amon St. Brown. This is about Jared Goff and David Montgomery and Penny Sewell. And we have Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. And I swear, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Brad Holmes should have a lifetime guaranteed contract in Detroit, so he can't go nowhere. And his job for until he's turned 70 or until he doesn't know what he's doing anymore, he has a lifetime contract because it's basically we need a GM like Brad Holmes to see talent like Isaac Tesla. He drafted Jamal Gibbs way too early. A lot of people out there are like, why did Detroit grab Jamal Gibbs? Could have waited. Waited for what? Are you going to wait for 2038 when Brad Holmes is too old to do anything to help draft players? Forget about it. Forget about it. I mean, I'm not even New York City style, but I'm going to say that. I'm going to say this out loud. You got Aidan Hutchinson, a guy that wants to play in Detroit. You got someone that wants for Detroit to win the Super Bowl. This isn't the Barry Sanders era where he's like, I'm the best player on the team and I'm going to try my best to be motivated for this team. But in reality, I don't care. That's the Barry Sanders theological meaning. And I know people like, oh, Barry, but you know what? Give Barry his office in the Ford family. I wouldn't listen to him. I wouldn't even talk to him. If I was with the Detroit Lions right now, I'll go find Billy Sims to talk to before Barry Sanders. I'm being serious because you know what? Billy didn't quit on Detroit. Billy Sims got hurt in Detroit. Barry just quit. But now we got Aidan Hutchinson. We got Amon St. Brown. We got Jared Goff. Jared Goff was rejected by the Rams. And I get it. Matthew Stafford, the greatest quarterback that we had in a long, long time. I mean, I can't remember the last time we had a quarterback besides Jared Goff besides Matthew Stafford. But in reality, Jared Goff came to Detroit. We got fans out there in Green Bay. We got fans in Minnesota. We got fans in Chicago. We got fans going everywhere. And even Detroit Tigers and Pistons game and the Red Wings that said, Jared Goff, Jared Goff. It is obnoxious, but it seems so right. This guy, look, I give Jared Goff a lot of crap sometimes. I sometimes think that we have to maybe babysit him a little bit, push him to be a winner, not to be so a pushover. Not he just doesn't have he doesn't have that Tom Brady in your face and swear at offense and defense coordinators and swear at his teammates and say, get you into your right position so I can throw you the football. Jared Goff doesn't seem to have that. He's got more laid back personality. I don't know if he's got a laid back personality or if he's just being Jared Goff. Maybe he's just that type of guy. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Like most people that talk about Detroit Lions who try to do a podcast, we're not in the locker room. We don't know what's going on with Dan Campbell and the rest offense, defense coordinators and the rest of the team, but we like to think we do. But you know what? This is great. We got guys that are signed through 2028, 2029. We have an establishment. We have a goal. This goal is the whole team goal. This isn't an individual goal. This isn't like a LeBron James where I just want to win a championship and then leave. I don't want to be like Dwayne Wade from the Miami Heat or whatever team he played for besides Miami Heat and win a championship and leave. This isn't a new era of sports. This is Detroit land. We have players that stay on the team. We got Kate Cunningham that probably will stay in Detroit forever until he retires. Mary Jane Durant as I'm watching Detroit Pistons against the Orlando Magic game. But we have uh, Dylan Larkin at the Red Wings. We have players that stay on the team forever. We had Stevie Eisenman that stayed in Red Wings world. I mean, this is what Detroit's built. Detroit's built about the working class, the people that put things together, that make things happen. This is the state of Michigan. We don't just run away from our struggles and we don't run away from our stuff. And I get it. And I get it. You know, Matthew Stafford, we had to trade him. He was just getting too much money. And to be honest with you, he deserved to go somewhere that they could win a championship right away. Would have picked LA Rams? Probably not, but it happened. Now we got Jared Goff, and we're trying to help him to get to the next step. And he's got the coaching staff there for him, and he's got the confidence behind him. I mean, he's just the guy that you just need to weekly give him confidence, daily give him confidence. You have to give him the daily confidence that he deserves, that he needs. That's what Jared Goff needs. It's a lot of work for Jared Goff to be that confident. Some guys just don't have it. And that's something that it takes a lot of practice to see that. Barry Sanders had that talent. He had that skill that no one had to be taught. That he didn't have to be motivated. He was just motivated. And Barry, and you know what? And Isaiah Thomas from the Detroit Pistons bad boy era, he had that. He had that instinct to be a champion. He didn't need, Bobby Knight from Indiana when he went to Indiana. He didn't need Chuck Daly to be motivated. He didn't need Bill Laimbeer to be yelling at him during practice or whatever it was. But he was, Isaiah Thomas, Zeke, had motivation to be a champion and to win now. That's the thing about it. You want to win now, and that's what's important. So for Detroit to sign Aidan Hutchinson, that kind of seals the deal for the rest of the team. The rest of the defensive linebackers like Jack Campbell and these other guys are probably going to stay because now they see the rest of the offense. The offensive players are put in place. They have a defensive end guy in Detroit. I mean, you got Brian Branch that needs to be taught and learn how to know when to shut up and just keep your mouth shut during certain parts of the game and let the players of the other team run their mouth. I mean, we got guys on the team that will come along and work things out. I mean, we got a best defense coordinator, in my opinion, Kelvin Sheppard, who's already been in the papers about going to LSU because he was a linebacker at LSU and then trying to find a replacement for Brian Kelly. And not to move to a different subject, but Penn State and LSU have drifted away from these head coaches. I mean, you got James Franklin that just got released from the Penn State game and Penn State season and Brian Kelly. Both of them are gone. I blame NIA for that. I blame all these boosters and us money coming in and expecting that Their teams are supposed to be great now and forever. I don't know how you expect that. Of course, Penn State can beat Michigan, Ohio State, or even whoever other team in the Big Ten at the time that James Franklin was coaching. That he couldn't win a seeded team. It works pretty tough in the Big Ten. If you can't beat Michigan, if you can't beat Ohio State, and if you can't beat Penn State in the consecutive years in a row, you're in a heap of trouble. That's that's the way the system works. So, folks, I think Detroit did the right thing. I think they signed the right guy. I think they signed this guy right here. I think they just did. I think they just signed this guy, and I think they did a perfect job. This they they put everything in place where it's supposed to be done. You can't ask for more. So if you look, folks, you gotta subscribe, follow, do whatever it takes to find me. I'm gonna keep it real and be honest with the Detroit Lions football and even the Detroit Tigers baseball and the Pistons. And I'll try my best with the Red Wings, but I can't guarantee you. But look, folks, find me on Patreon, find me on YouTube, find me on Apple, find me on Spotify. I'm out of here. I hope you guys have a good night, good day, and God bless. Let's go, Detroit.